You're listening to Rio Radio, the nationally trusted name in real estate investing. We dig deep to discover investors' why in real estate. If you want to skip all the BS and get in investors' heads, you're in the right spot. Be one of the thousands to check out RioRadio.com.
In our course, everything was step 1 through step 10. How do you find financing? How do you find properties? How do you find insurance? How do you find contractors?
Yep.
And she was also providing contacts of her own, so we could go reach out to her contacts and stuff like that.
In regards to Jerry, every time we have her speak at the RIA or speak on the podcast, she fills the room.
I probably owe the last 4 years of what we have done all to her. I wouldn't have done it on my own.
Hey, look who is calling me right now.
That is super
Jerry
weird.
Schlickburn.
Oh, wow.
Should we put her on speaker? Hey, Jerry. So just so you know, you're on speakerphone, and we are on the Rio Radio podcast right now. And we are talking about you as you called.
Dude, this was trippy.
Jason Woodward is here in the room with us.
Hi, Jason.
Hello.
And Jason just said that your coaching program is the reason that he is investing right now.
Aw, I love that. Thank you.
Dude, this is so weird. Seriously, so weird.
I would never take this call while we're live on a podcast if it wasn't for this situation right now.
He literally
Oh my
just said
gosh.
that. He just gave you credit for the last 4 years.
The whole conversation right now is about Jerry.
This episode is brought to you by Entrepreneur Addict.
If you feel like marketing changes every 5 minutes, you're not wrong. You're right. And that's why we built Entrepreneur Addict. We take the chaos out and give you one simple roadmap to follow. Video that converts, local search results that rank, and content that actually connects with people. And all of this brings real results. Get started now. Get the clarity instead of the overwhelm by going to entrepreneuraddict.com/REIA now.
Welcome to Rio Radio with Jason Woodward.
It's going to be one of these episodes, apparently. So Ted just rolled in here half an hour late. Sorry about that, Jason.
Has that ever happened in all the years?
I don't know, man.
It's happened to you more
We'll
than
have
me.
to check the footage on me. Oh, please. I'm here an hour ahead of time normally. Anyway, Jason, welcome to the studio. And
you.
by the way, thank you for the impromptu acceptance of the invite. This was on Wednesday night after a couple of bourbons where Ted unabashedly made you agree to come in here. So thanks for taking time out of your day. I do want to ask you, man. So I didn't know this, but you mentioned before we hit record that you grew up in Ottawa, which is in Iowa.
Mhm.
And it is it's a town known for what? A casino, right? An Indian
Yes.
casino, or sorry, Native American casino now.
Right. And the widest Main Street, I believe.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's
Widest?
Widest Main Street. I don't know if it's the country or what, but yeah.
the really?
Yeah.
That's odd.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up there?
So actually, I was born in Ottawa, there at the hospital, but I lived in Sioux City.
Sioux City. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So grew up through grade school in Sioux City.
Mhm.
And then junior high, 7th grade, we moved down to Omaha.
All these Iowegians coming into town.
Iowegians unite.
I'm
Okay.
a Husker fan, though, so
That
I do
boy.
not associate
So is
with
this Iowegian?
Yeah, that's right. So what led you to Omaha? So you grew up there, or you were born there, Sioux City, and then Omaha was, how old were you when you moved here?
7th grade,
7th grade,
junior
okay.
high. So
Yep.
what,
And
13, 14.
parents' job or something?
Yeah, my mom got transferred down to Omaha.
Okay, gotcha. And now, so between Ted and I at the RIAs and all the events we've always talked to you at, I don't know a ton about your background. So maybe you could kind of describe what was life like for you when you were kind of getting your feet under you here after high school and that kind of thing. Maybe tell us a little bit of an overview there.
Sure. So I went to Lincoln for my first year of college and then transferred back here to Omaha. Worked construction jobs during the summers and even during college. So I worked for a glass company for a while. I poured concrete for a summer. I wouldn't recommend that, but
That is a hot job.
yeah.
When I was 16, I poured concrete for a little bit. And I
Yeah.
remember the first load of concrete I took, and here I am, this skinny little thing, just so you know. They filled it up,
and it was my first summer job. I took the wheelbarrow and it tipped over.
Oh, sure.
no.
And I was with all these big, rough
Burly dudes.
construction guys, and at that time they were rougher than I think they are now. But they made fun of me, and they're like, "Maybe you're not in the right job."
Right.
Yeah, that's
Day
the worst.
Right.
I used to build retaining walls for my cousin. He was a builder, and so he'd have me just do random stuff. And these are like the Keystone blocks. I don't know what they weigh, but they're not light.
Right.
And I did that for a whole summer. Man, I would tell you what though. You get pretty ripped if you're doing that tan and whatever.
Yeah.
I had pretty good success picking up girls during that stint as a construction.
One of my best friends, he had a 78 Camaro back then, and it was like 16, but he did lawns, and that guy was always tan. And I was like, we went out cruising on the street. He always got the girls because of the car, and it was a piece of shit car. Yeah, rusted out, but he was tan, and that mattered. So
yeah. No. Okay. So you worked construction, and then that led to you've been with a local company here in Omaha that has building supplies, right? That's kind of your jobby job, right?
Yeah, correct. So after I got out, right at the end of college, I got a job with a commercial roofing contractor here in Omaha, and I actually worked there for 12 years. So I did projects like Tower at First National Bank Business Park. Schools, offices, the Mid-America Center over in Council Bluffs were some of the jobs that I was project managing on and stuff. So,
okay. So you lined up the crews, kind of managed where they were going.
Yeah. Ordered the materials, did the original estimates. I mean, basically everything from start to finish. I even, during our growing pains, spent a summer out on the roof running the crew. That wasn't fun. So, but you also gain the respect of, the people out there and stuff. So,
sure.
But yeah, so I worked there for 12 years, and then I ended up leaving and going to Kiewit. Worked there for 3 years, and then that 07, 8, 9 period is when I worked there, and the economy just crashed.
Yep.
And, everybody that had work lined up just pulled it off the table. And so that's when I went on to ABC.
So ABC, that's a local supplier of building materials, right?
Correct.
And you've been with them for how long now?
13 years total. I had a 2-year stint in where I left for a little while.
Yep. What were you doing on the little while?
I went to work for a forensic engineering company. So I went out and assessed damage to properties. Could have been anywhere from hail damage to vehicles running into a house or a building. And then I spent 9 months over in Cedar Rapids after the derecho windstorm. And that was pretty impressive.
It's amazing that there's enough people running into buildings. There has to be a person specialized in that.
You'd be surprised.
Right? That's exactly what I was thinking.
You'd be surprised.
Is that a common occurrence?
Over in Cedar Rapids, we had a walkway from a hospital to a parking garage that we had to go twice in 2 years because the same dumpster company left their boom up after they dropped a dumpster off at a construction site and ran into the overpass or the walkway.
Oh no.
The Schlickburns have a hotel in Lincoln, Nebraska, and they've had the exact same parking spot, which is nothing special about it. Had a car run through it 2 times, and both times it's been tenants going in the wrong gear and blasting into the building and into somebody's bedroom.
Wow.
What was the craziest thing you ever saw when you were doing that forensics job?
During the derecho windstorm, I'd pull up to houses and the force of the winds, because it was it's like a
hurricane,
category 3
right?
hurricane in the middle of Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd pull up to a house and the garage doors had imploded. The garage walls were laying on the ground. Half the roof was gone. You'd go inside and the walls, like the back wall of the house, you could see where it was out 2 inches from the carpet line.
So it knocked it off the foundation.
It imploded the house and just pushed the walls out. It was pretty impressive stuff. I mean, some of the houses, it was just a tear down at that point.
Now, working at a supply house for commercial contracting, residential contracting, you have been exposed to probably crews that have been working for real estate investors. How and when did investing in real estate even enter your thought process?
Yeah. So I work with home builders, remodelers, all that. I really, during the first 9 years when I was at ABC, I really didn't even think about real estate. During COVID 2020, my son, he was a senior in high school. We went and bought a fishing boat, just a little John boat, and he ended up fixing it up and we sold it. Bought another one. He fixed that up, sold it, and we started flipping boats during COVID.
Oh, no way.
And
that's cool.
To the point where he was he was buying bass boats. He'd drive to Okoboji, Kansas City.
Did you guys
Des
ever buy the
Moines.
sunken boats?
No, these were all
salvage operation.
Yeah, they were either
I love the videos where they're diving down and they're putting the bags on, they're lifting them back up, and I'm like, it's a boat. It's got to be easy to restore.
Yeah, but you get rot.
Okay.
I mean, most of that stuff's not meant to be submerged.
Yeah.
So he was buying stuff that was maybe 80s, early 90s, tearing out the carpet, replacing the seats.
They keep their value really well.
They do.
I think my parents have like an O2, like a 28-foot Baja or something like that.
Yeah.
And that thing, I think they could still sell that thing for at least $30,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he'd drive 3-4 hours to go buy a boat. 19-year-old kid. He had $5,000-$6,000 cash in his console with him, and he was just off and going. So, when I started going to Cedar Rapids every other week, it was 4 hours each way. And so I was trying to find something to listen to besides the radio. And one weekend I came home and he started talking about YouTube videos about real estate investors and stuff. And, he made mention, maybe we should look into that. So I started Googling podcasts and got on the Bigger Pockets podcast and started listening to that, which was completely over my head because all those guys had, 500 properties and hotels and whatever. And so then they had
you need to start the earlier episodes.
They had they had the rookie one that came on.
Yeah.
And so, but the
rookie one was good too.
Yeah, it was.
We've had Ashley on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had 4 hours each way to listen to podcasts. And then I started listening to your guys's once it started up and stuff.
Did you find that flipping boats was more lucrative than flipping houses?
Yes. And my son just told me last week we need to go back to flipping boats.
Yeah.
And say, screw the houses.
I mean, besides the tax benefits.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, in boats, it's all a cash deal. So,
yeah,
it's nobody.
You don't need to license them?
Well, even if you license them,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, you're selling some guy
do you have license them before you sell them?
Yes, it helps because you have to license the title because you got to transfer the title to somebody else,
like a car.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I live in Carter Lake, Iowa, which they have it's a probably 330 acre lake. And one of my neighbors that we've gotten to be really good friends with, they have a son named Eli that he's going to school for, I think it's called aquatic engineering. And he's basically going to be doing this his whole life. And literally when that kid was about 8 years old, he's driving all of us drunks around. Hopefully this isn't used against me later, but
it will be.
He has been on the lake and operating lake machinery and jet skis and boats. And he knows everything about everything. So I literally have him on speed dial because I have a boat, but I don't know anything about boats. And he's helped me out of so many jams. And then he ended up starting to do lifts and all these other little businesses around it. But that kid, he would go do the same thing. He would buy jet skis and he'd flip them. In fact, I bought one off of him that he bought for next to nothing. It was like a 1996 Yamaha. I can't remember the brand. It was kind of an obscure one and they're probably not even around anymore, but he's looking on eBay to find these obscure parts and like different, parts of the country or even out of the country.
Right.
And it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
You can literally flip anything.
Yeah.
And, some of the people that we run around with too, and like Clint Blackburn, who's been on our podcast before, self-described hillbilly, got the big mutton chops. And he started by flipping everything. Like he'd go and buy stuff randomly off the Thrifty Nickel ads. And then he just go
Thrifty
around
Nickel. When's the last time you heard that?
Oh man. I looked at that was when I first got started in real estate.
I buy those, look at the cars all the time.
I would too.
Yeah.
I was baseball cards, and then I would look. When I started learning about real estate, I'd look for sale by owners and creative finance opportunities and stuff like that. That was fun back then, man. Before everything was online,
Speaking of baseball cards, it was just I don't know if I told you this. You know how we talked about we started doing fantasy like baseball and stuff back in the day. I found the old notebook that we kept stats in back in the day. And it literally had it had the cards still stuck in there with the player name, and then all the handwritten stats out of the Beckett.
This was for your fantasy league
baseball, like in 92.
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta take a liberty here since we've been doing this a long time. I started a fantasy baseball league in 1990. And it was with some kids in my class and then the dad of one of my classmates. He was super into baseball. And we started and it was called, and I actually did this. You're going to laugh at this, Ted, for sure. I was in the talented and gifted program at my high school. Oh, what are you showing me here? So I created, as my school project, I did a rotisserie league, which is a type of it's a type of fantasy baseball league. Oh, nice! You actually do have pictures.
Yeah,
of it.
we have to take a picture.
That's hilarious.
And there's the stats.
Oh my god! Look how yellow that paper is. That's great. So let's check this out. So we lived in Malvern, Iowa, population 1,200, which probably still is the population, and there was no internet. Obviously, this is in 1990. So my mom had to drive me to Glenwood, Iowa to pick up a USA Today on Tuesdays, because that's when they had the weekly stats from all of the previous games. So I would go there. My mom would take me. I'd get the paper, bring it back home, and we had an Apple IIc computer. I was one of the few kids in my class that actually had a computer. I don't think we had a VCR at the time.
Rich kid over here.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm nerding out on this, and I'm entering all the stats manually into whatever. I don't even know what the spreadsheet was called back then. I don't even think Excel was around. And I would print it off on a dot matrix printer. You know, you have to rip off the perforated edges, and I'd take it to school and hand out the stats once a week. And then we had to keep track of it all.
Future
manually.
bookie right there.
So I was the commissioner of my fantasy baseball league. Now here's the cool part. So eventually we stayed with us for a long time, right? And eventually it went online, and it became a whole lot easier to manage all this. But this league is still going to this day.
I know.
And we have a traveling trophy. It's about probably 3 feet high, and it has engraved names of everybody that has won the league the previous year.
We do that for our football.
Yeah. So 1990.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
is 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
You're gonna run out of plaques.
Yeah. I know. We're going to have to upgrade the trophy here very soon.
And transfer all the plaques over.
But getting back to your son and his enjoyment of flipping boats, like, did you guys live on a lake? Like, why boats?
No.
He just found one. Was it his idea, or were you guys talking about it?
Well, it was my original idea. I saw on Facebook Marketplace the first 14-foot John boat that we bought, and it was in Gretna, just not too far from my house. And I thought, everybody's looking for something to do.
Mm-hmm. And
you couldn't go anywhere.
You're into hunting and fishing and that kind of thing. Yeah.
And so I asked him if he was interested if I bought it, and he said yes. And I don't even know if I ever went on the water in that boat.
Really?
He did a few times, but he had it sold before, we really even used it. But he, over the course of about 3 years, he had several bass boats that, he'd keep for a while until he found the next new one that he wanted to get.
Yeah, until it got old. Then he wanted the money.
Yeah, so he was up to a bass boat, a couple jet skis at one time, and, flipping boats. And
ChatGPT says you average 1,000 to 3,000 average on a boat flip.
Yeah, we were probably making, I know at least one that I bought.
3 to 7 on a good
I flipped it in a week and made $3,000.
Yes.
And we put a battery in it.
Oh, well, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that was it. I went down to South Central Nebraska.
You guys ever buy nice ski boats like a Baja?
No, no, they were all fishing boats because my son was into fishing.
Because I would think that would be where the profit is. You're getting one of those, Bajas for like 10, 15,000 that maybe needs all new upholstery.
Right.
Put a new instrument panel on it. Give it a tune-up, because usually those have like a big 54 in them or something like that.
Yeah.
And
no, we just stuck with outboard bass boats. And
I want to do this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm looking at Ted like, wow, he's pretty passionate.
And I tell you,
about
the
this.
16-foot John boats were big sellers too.
Because
they were more stable than the 14s, and people would use them for duck hunting, fishing, whatever. So we'd have little old ladies pull up and hook up a 16-foot John boat to their SUV and drive off. I'm like, okay, have fun.
I'm not a mechanical guy, but I could flip a boat as long as it could run. Or I had a guy, or I could call my dad. My dad knows boats like.
Well, and my son had a guy that he'd buy boats that wouldn't have engines, and then go buy a motor, and he had a guy that would put them on.
Well, I guarantee my dad's never listened to an episode of this. So, Pops, if you want to start a little boat flipping business, let's talk.
No, here's the big question. I kind of want to dig into this for a second. So, if you wanted to flip boats, and there's a whole bunch of other industries that this applies to, like airplanes. There's dudes that and women that buy airplanes.
Rob Church is flipping mobile homes.
I was going to say, or motor homes, or anything.
Yeah. So. Yeah, this is kind of a fun conversation because there are opportunities to buy and sell things and make margin on it. And that's what it's all about, right? It's like you got to factor in. It's just like flipping a house. You figure out what you can buy it for, what you can sell it for, and then how much it's going to cost you to get to that spread, and then you factor in your profit and rinse and repeat.
You know what's funny is I never thought about this, but I think I mentioned before. I used to have a limo company at one point in my life, and we had 3 MCI Greyhound buses on that but all 3 of those we did flips on.
Oh, really?
We gutted them. We put seating in them, lighting in them, sound systems, and then when the business got closed, they got sold for a pretty nice profit.
Yeah.
But we were buying those things back then. They're like 90s buses. We were buying them for, I remember, 10,000, and then selling them off for 20 plus. I mean, like,
hey, I'm in, man. Like, let's get this going. All 3 of us. Aiden, you want in? Sure. Aiden's in. All right.
We need somebody that can actually put some time into it.
Right. Well, this was going to be my next question. So, like, when you're flipping a house, it's like, in you being, we'll dig into this too, but working for a builder supply company, you have project management background with construction. You've been doing construction. Boats, it's like, when I walk into a house and I'm like, okay, it needs, flooring, paint, plumbing, we need to replace countertops and whatever. Boats is a little bit different animal, but I'm sure there's somebody that could do that for you. So you wouldn't have to do all of it yourself. Because the minute I have to do all the DIY, I'm out. Like, I don't want to do
I could definitely get my dad is a lifelong mechanic, and he's got a pretty profitable company now, but he is you ever heard of the Omaha River Rats Facebook page?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know.
My mom and dad started that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they have, I don't know, 10 or 15,000 followers on the little Facebook group that they started. I was following it. I didn't even know that that it was their page. And I'm like, you guys have a Facebook page?
Wow.
And anyway, so they're like boat fanatics. I think they got 3 boats themselves.
Yeah.
And
okay, so anybody catching this episode, if you got a boat that's sitting
this
in
is
your
a conversation that we did not
in your storage unit or garage, and you're like, oh, I don't.
Or if you buy a flip and it's got a boat sitting in the backyard.
I've looked for those too.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, let's make this happen.
What are other things we can flip?
Okay, this is kind of a fun conversation because
cars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know you're into cars.
I love
I had
cars.
a neighbor that lived across the street, and he had a different car in his driveway every other week.
Well, I mean, that Saline Mustang I bought was that a year or 2 ago. I mean,
yeah,
I got that off, bring a trailer, and
you didn't you drive to like San Diego or something?
Flew to San Francisco, drove it back. But I mean, I don't remember. Like,
you bought it for 12, right?
I bought it for 12, and I sold it for 20.
Yeah,
and I probably put like 15,000 miles on it over the summer.
Yeah. So you had fun.
Oh my gosh, I had fun in it.
Yeah.
I rode in that thing. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. You did burnouts. Like you're scary to drive with for an old guy. But no. Okay. So Ryan Pineda is a dude out of Vegas that is big.
Colored hair.
Yeah. Big social media influencer when it comes to real estate investing. Big wholesaler guy. He was, doing a lot of stuff. And now he got started by flipping furniture.
Oh.
So he would buy sofas and different furniture sets and then mark it up and sell it, and that's how he originally got started in flipping. And then he got into wholesaling and then actually doing flips, and then he's a guru now, right? And wants to invite people to play $5,000 to play golf with him. So you get to spend time with him for 5 hours.
I can see you do that.
What, being him or golfing with
him for 5,000?
Okay, fun fact.
Didn't we talk about this?
So Sam Tavis, anybody that follows this
when do you
podcast,
bring Sam back on?
Sam is a Lincoln investor, and he used to be an ex. He is an ex
MLB player.
No, he didn't make the MLB, but I think he made it to AAA. Double A. No, he didn't. He played for the Cardinals organization, and then I think 1 or 2 others. He did not. I know this, Ted. Don't waste your time Googling it. Ted's Googling right now. Like, are you serious?
I really think you're wrong. I really think you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I thought you played for the Cardinals or something.
The Cardinals minor league system. I cannot believe you're wasting time doing this. Anyway, Sam Tavis was on here, and he actually paid to play golf with Ryan Pineda. And this is crazy. Sam Tavis, got a double eagle, which is the rarest of all. And Jason, I know you're a golfer.
Yeah.
He got the rarest of all golf accomplishments while he was playing with Ryan Pineda in Vegas.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Impressive.
Yeah. So we should get him on. Yeah. Look, see, I'm just waiting for you to tell me I'm right. Ted is scrolling, looking for the answer.
I could have sworn when we interviewed him, he played, and he got hurt pitching or something, right?
He's had 3 UCL replacements.
Oh my gosh, how did I mess that up?
Yeah, because you're not listening to me. That's why. All right. So this is actually kind of fun. So like in the vein of like flipping stuff,
New York Mets signed as a free agent.
Yeah, in their organization, Ted, they have minor leagues.
Not. I see New York Mets. Thank you.
I will put right now. I will bet you $50,000 that he never played for the MLB.
God. And we know how good Owen is with his betting. And he will pay, and he will expect payment. And I don't have 50 grand.
Okay, whatever you're comfortable with betting, I'll shake on it right now.
Okay, I'll do $20.
$20. I'll bet you. Okay,
We'll
we're gonna. This is gonna be the fastest $20 I've ever made. I'm just gonna start flipping bets to you.
You have a long way to make up after you lost that money.
I do. Unfortunately,
we were at Bigger Pockets, and he bet Megan Ahern that you saw. Who was it?
Alex
Fleece. And I go, dude, it's not him. And he's like, no, I know Alex. I met him. I go, yeah, I have too. That is not him. You know who Alex Fleece is?
I know the name.
And so he's dead set, and he goes to Megan, I bet you $1,000 right now. That's Alex Fleece. And then she's like, it's not. And she's like, and he's like, I'll bet you. And he goes, okay. So we go tap on his, and he has.
I go, I'll bet you $1,000. She's like, all right. Sticks out her hand, and I had a moment of doubt when that happened, but I was like, no, that's him.
I already told you it wasn't him too.
Yeah, but clearly you're not credible, as we just proved with your loss to me of $20. Anyway, I walked over.
My memory is not as good as my eyes.
I walked over, met the guy, walked right back over, and PayPal'd Megan $1,000.
Johnny on the spot.
And the fun part about this is I'm old, right? So I have PayPal, which she does not because she's whatever, a millennial. And she's like, I have to call Jeff now, her husband, and figure out how to even get a PayPal account. She's like, seriously,
but
what are you doing?
Owen's level of credibility right at that point went to the next level.
Yeah.
Like
most people, I'll get you next week.
Yeah,
no. Like,
I was just kidding. No.
Owen, when he puts a bet on it, he means it.
I will honor it,
and you better honor it back to him because his word is bond.
Yeah,
every time.
So put $20 on the table, and I will too.
Owen Dashner, his word is bond.
So okay, all right. Wow, we went off the rails here, but anyway, this is fun. Flipping stuff is fun.
Oh yeah.
And so leading back to
we were asking there before we went on a tangent is what are other things that we could flip?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys would feel comfortable flipping? Like we talked about cars, we talked about boats. You could probably do ATVs. You could do furniture. Obviously, that's an easy one, but that's a lot of hands-on work.
Well, and furniture to me sounds boring.
It does. Yeah.
Well, you have a storage, like multiple storage places full of furniture.
You could flip snow blowers, lawnmowers. I mean, the list is endless.
If anybody wants a snow blower, I have one you can flip because I can't get the damn thing started.
Funny thing is, I have a snowblower guy, and he just came to my house and repaired it for me. Yes.
Oh my God! Send me his contact.
And he will come to your house and fix it on site.
Send him to me right now. I'll give you your $20.
Tim Rainey. He's a good one. I'll send him over to you.
Thank you.
Anything small engine, actually.
Okay, I'm 100% serious. I'm having problems.
So once a year, he comes and does all my small motors. It's great. But anyway, getting back on track here. So I'm selling my apartment building here in about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole basement is full of storage stuff. And so I'm going to be paying rent for this storage going after the 23rd.
Oh yeah,
and so
that's not good.
Luckily,
it's a depreciating asset, and you're paying to store a depreciating asset. Not a good scenario. I've done it.
I hate to tell you how many storage units I have right now, but but luckily,
maybe you should buy a storage.
Ted's
unit
been
facility.
wanting to buy a storage unit only so that he can store his.
I put my car
furniture
and all my stuff.
So he'll just get the write-off, but no income.
Oh yeah, as soon as I get a storage unit, I can start buying cars.
Ted's gonna have $1 million of carry forward losses just based on his storage fees.
My wife doesn't understand. Like once he gets a storage unit, I'm allowed to start buying cars to fill up units.
Oh my God. Don't do that. You're going to be divorced. Okay, so when was the first house flip? How did this happen? So moving up to the granddaddy of all things that you can flip.
Yep.
It's obviously a house.
Yeah.
Right?
So listen to podcasts, like I said, for 9 months solid. Then I was living with my fiance. So I'd gotten divorced 4 or 5 years prior, and I was living with my fiance, and I said, hey, I'm thinking about, doing this. And she kind of looked at me like, yeah, right. And then on Facebook one day, I saw an ad for Jerry Schlickburn doing a investment course.
My old business partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I approached my fiance with that.
What year was this?
22.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you've been doing this longer, to be honest with you.
No, I think the course started like right in January or February of 22.
I was in that room.
It was all on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
when I did it because it was still
Because
kind of COVID-ish.
her first class, I had my own section I talked on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, this was all on Zoom.
Okay.
That at least my course was. I think she had a couple prior.
Yeah, I did the first one.
But so yeah, my fiance is like, well, that sounds, at least you're getting an education or someone that knows what they're talking about. So I took it. It was like a 8 or 10 week course, and we had 2 goals at the beginning of the course. One was a business goal towards investing, and one was a personal goal. And my business goal was to buy a property within like so many months after the class. Mm-hmm. And the last day of the class, we had to tell where we were on our goals, and I was actually closing on my first property the next day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that's a mic drop moment.
Well, it was cool.
Now, okay, let me ask you this. So not to slow your roll here, but
Sure.
Do you think that helped you?
100%.
With having accountability on
100%
on your goal? Okay.
Yeah. In our course, I mean, everything was step 1 through step 10. How do you find financing? How do you find properties? How do you find insurance? How do you find contractors?
Yep.
And she was also providing contacts of her own, so we could go reach out to her contacts and stuff like that.
In regards to Jerry, every time we have her speak at the RIA or speak on the podcast, she fills the room. Mm-hmm. She fills the room at the RIAs. Every time she's on the podcast, her stats are like literally double or triple the average person.
Yeah.
Like she is hypnotizing to the people who listen to her.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I probably owe the last 4 years of what we have done all to her. I mean, I wouldn't have done it on my own. And I don't, like we were talking before we started, I don't read books. I've read the Bible.
Wow. That's okay.
Or the purple Bible.
Oh,
sorry, the purple Bible.
I was like, wow, not many people can say
no,
that.
I can't either. Sorry.
The purple Bible's a little different from the regular Bible.
I have my own Bible, and I've tried reading it from start to finish. I think I've gotten through like 70 pages.
Yeah.
But I did download the audiobook of the Bible, but it is like 75 days of listening.
Oh, wow.
Was this ChatGPT that did this for you?
No, it's on my Audible account, but I just, it's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. That's,
and I'm a Christian. I feel like this is something I have to do in life, but I haven't done it.
Yeah.
Ted buys the chat.
Hey, look who is calling me right now.
That is super weird.
Jerry Schlickburn.
Oh, wow.
Should we put her on speaker?
How about you just take your watch off so we can quit getting distracted by random things while we're recording?
Hey, Jerry. So just so you know, you're on speakerphone, and we are on the RIA Radio podcast right now. And we are talking about you as you called,
dude. This is trippy.
So just so you know, everything you say at this moment is going to be used on the podcast.
Okay.
But Jason Woodward is here in the room with us.
Oh, hi, Jason.
Hello.
And Jason just said that your coaching program is the reason that he is investing right now.
Thank you.
Dude, this is so weird. Seriously, so weird.
I would never taken this call while we're live on a podcast if it wasn't for this situation right now.
He literally just said that. He just gave you credit for the last 4 years.
The whole conversation right now is about Jerry.
Wow. Talk about manifesting.
That is so crazy.
Well,
I was just going to say, I've been like praying, what am I supposed to do? You guys know I just turned 50 a few months ago, and I feel like I reached this different stage of my life. And so maybe that's God's way of saying, I need to keep doing those classes.
Owen's mouth is like, is it closing right now?
This is so weird.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Hang on, let's just start talking about $1 billion.
Right.
I just want to, yeah, let's talk about $1 million or 5 million. Let's think bigger, Owen.
Wow.
I just want to say that honestly, Jason's been one of my favorite students, and I love watching all of my students, but I love, seeing your posts about number 10, number 14. Like, it's so cool. I love that. So
Thank you.
I cannot believe that. I just for the record, I call Ted like twice a month. So
yeah, seriously, this sounds made up.
Like, it does.
This sounds like we scripted this whole thing. This is weird.
Happens all the time, though. But I'm excited to say, though, I'm actually hanging out with the Schlickburns for Christmas. We're going to go out and hang out at their place in Florida.
Oh, Florida? Nice.
So we're really excited about that.
Yeah. Hopefully by the time this airs, we don't own it anymore, though. We have to sell that house so I can do more real estate in Omaha. And you know what I was actually calling about, Ted? I was calling because over the years, December was always our busiest month, or one of our busiest months in real estate.
Yep.
And I'm like, I've got some properties to move, so I need to tell you about those at some point.
I will call you when I get off the podcast and we'll discuss.
Create some more stuff. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Well, hi everybody on the podcast. You guys need to have me back on. It's been a minute.
Yes, let's do it.
Well, word for word, what we said right before you called is I go every single time Jerry's on the podcast, it gets double or triple the views that we normally get. And when Jerry speaks at the RIA, she fills the room every single time. So yes, we'll book you out here in the next month and a half if you have availability, and we'll talk about having you speak again.
I would love it.
Okay, Jerry.
Anything for you, Ted.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Love you guys.
Guys.
Tell Mikey hi.
Love you. I will.
Bye.
Wow. What in the world?
That was hilarious,
Dude. Okay.
Well, so just so you know, I'm on quiet time, but anybody that's on my
VIP list?
your VIP list bypasses that.
Yeah. Or you could just take it off.
No,
Right.
that's how it is. We should just say in a podcast, I hit the button.
Ted used to have an ankle monitor, so like
used to
he
be
has a wrist one now.
Okay, so every time Owen gives me shit about something, he ends up doing it like a year later. Okay, so he's like, "Oh man,
The ankle
don't do ChatGPT." Oh wait,
I didn't say don't do
I'm
it.
ChatGPT's. Oh, you gave me shit every single
I
day on the
reserve the
podcast.
right to make fun of you about whatever I want to.
You do.
Whether or not I end up doing it later is up to me.
Then you end up following.
Yeah. You are my canary in the coal mine, buddy.
Oh, great! That's why I want to hear.
Okay, wow. Okay. Honestly, I'm trying to recover from this. That was super
Just
trippy.
listeners, I did not messenger her anything.
All right, so
And she's a spiritual lady, so
Oh yeah, she is very much so. Yeah. So the first house was literally the day after our class was over, and it was early April. So I had just bought my own house. Was building a house during COVID, which was a disaster.
You built your own home.
I didn't build it; I was having it built. But instead of your 7 or 8 month build time, it was like 15 months.
Sounds like my rehab.
To have a ranch built. I mean, come on. So, but my fiance at the time said I couldn't buy any properties until we closed on our house.
I hate those rules.
It was about a week or two later after we closed on our personal home that I closed on the first investment property. And then a month later, I closed on my second investment property.
a month later?
Yeah. While we were still working,
On
we
the
were
first
working
one?
on both of them simultaneously. Yes.
Wow.
And they were both in Fremont, bought them both through different wholesalers. But yeah. And the good part of buying the second one is the first one, we kind of lost our butts on. So it helped fund the first one to get the second one also.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's dig into the first one. So it was a single family house. You mentioned you reached out to some wholesalers, found what you thought was a deal. Okay. You read not the Bible, but the purple Bible.
How do we clarify that?
Yes.
And
Wait, maybe you're a believe more and more now that Jerry called.
Maybe I might have to go actually buy one.
and you were listening to Ted drop gold nuggets on the way to back and forth from Cedar Rapids and learned a few things along the way.
I love he said me because he talks all the time.
Worked at you were working at a builder supply company and knew probably and with your construction background, you had a pretty good idea on what costs should be, right? So what went wrong?
By the way, if we call you, do we get better pricing? Like, should we call you for all of our
Sure.
supplies? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
All right, there we go.
That's a win-win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So we'll come back to that. But you're okay. So what went wrong there? Tell us about what you saw on the deal originally. Why did you think, hey, this is the first one, let's do it? And then what actually happened? So the expectation versus the reality.
Yeah. So when I first looked at it, the walkthrough, I mean, the bones were solid. It was an older house, probably early 1900s. It just mainly needed flooring, paint, needed a new roof and exterior paint. And so, it didn't look too bad.
What town was this in?
Fremont.
Fremont. Okay.
Yep.
Fremont, Nebraska, for the listeners that are not in Nebraska.
And the kitchen needed remodeled. They had the washer and the dryer in the kitchen, old cabinets, that type of thing. So I walked through it initially, and then I took my son back with me because we're partners in this and met the wholesaler.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's fun. And he's an electrician now, so that also helps.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So free electrical for me. But
Owen's got no boys, so he has no hope.
so we walked through the house with
Women can be electricians.
Totally,
Ted.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But there's very few.
Jeez, sexist much?
We walked
I'm
through
not
the
sexist much. It's just it's the percentage of women electricians and men electricians. I will Google it and find out.
it's probably 80-20.
I doubt that. You really think it's
90-10?
Hey,
what's your guess?
do you have 20 more bucks to put on the table, Ted?
I'm guessing.
I mean, well, let's put your money where your mouth is.
I think it's probably 5%.
No bet. I have no idea, but I wanted to throw you shade, but also I don't know the stats
Because
on
you
it.
don't disagree.
Well, it's a heavily male-dominated industry. I mean, you could make that argument about real estate investing in general, which is it is what it is. But anyway, so good bones, cosmetic remodel, kitchen remodel.
So once we got into it, started tearing out the kitchen cabinets and stuff. It had drop ceilings in the kitchen, 2 bedrooms and a bath.
2%.
Okay.
2%.
All right.
Ted just likes to be right. No bet though. $20 still in my direction.
So in those drop ceilings, they were old and deteriorated and stained and everything. So I decided to pull those all down, only to find the original ceilings crumbling, falling. So we tore out the ceilings, ended up tearing out the walls. The kitchen, bathroom, and 2 bedrooms, we completely stripped down to studs. My son and I, Tyler, we would wheelbarrow it out to a single car garage, dump it in a pile until we couldn't put any more in there. And then we'd call for a dumpster. And this was nights and weekends. And this house, we bought it in early April. And I think we finally closed on selling it in November or December of that year. So
I feel like we should have Tyler on this podcast.
Good luck. He's not a social.
We can video him in.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So it was the time. We hired a painter. Obviously, I hired a crew to do the roof and hired a painter, hired someone to come in and redo all the wood floors. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had pulled up 4 or 5 layers of linoleum in the kitchen and found newspapers from like the 40s or 50s.
Underneath it?
Yeah, underneath it. Yeah, suits were like $19.95 for a 3-piece suit. There's a bottle of bourbon advertised, and I don't remember what brand it was, but I don't remember.
How much was it? It was as much as a shot is now.
Yeah. It was probably like $6 or something for the whole liter bottle or something. But the brand was familiar to me, which was surprising. I just don't recall what it was. But yeah, the stuff you find in these old houses is just amazing. We found bullet shells in the walls, and like the actual shells.
One of my last renovations, my contractor came back. He's like, just so you know, when I opened up the wall, I found a. What's the Russian machine gun?
AK.
It was an AK.
AK-47.
He's like, I found an old AK, and there was Russian money in the wall.
Oh wow,
really? Yeah.
Weird. Wow.
Yeah, we're off 24th Street in South Omaha.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for you. So the plaster and lath walls that you tore out, that is very hard and dirty work, right?
Yes.
And when you tore the walls off, was there chicken wire?
No, I think it was just the lath.
Okay, so
it's been a while, but I think it was just the lath and plaster.
So, have you ever run into horsehair?
I've seen that too.
Okay, so fun fact for those of you listening to this that are like, what are you even talking about? Yeah. They would mix in actual hair from horses into the plaster because it had a better binding
agent.
It would.
It's like the concrete now. They put in a plastic fiberglass. Yeah.
Yep. And so back in the day, they used to use horsehair.
Yeah.
And when you would tear these things out, and sometimes there's chicken wire behind the plaster.
So you used them for glue and for plaster.
Yeah. Can you imagine the very first
useful animals?
What was the very first dude thinking when he figured out that you could take horse hooves and make gelatin out of them?
That's gross.
They're like, "Are you okay, bro?"
Well, Jello.
that was a meme.
Jello was discovered in Hastings, Nebraska.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a local.
Oh.
Huh.
I'll bet you $20 it wasn't. He's getting ready to. Did you see his hand? He was getting ready to Google.
There
I'm
before.
kidding. I'm not betting you. Okay, so you tore out these old walls.
Yeah.
It sounds like scope creep was a real thing here, right?
Yeah,
so it was your first deal, totally normal.
Yep.
You picked a house that was probably, in hindsight, would you have picked an early 1900s house for your first flip? Do you think it was a good thing to go through?
Yeah. I mean, we could have left. Theoretically, we could have left the walls.
Okay.
Theoretically, we could have put drop ceiling back in,
Mhm.
you know, and just got rid of the old panels or whatever.
Yep.
But it's kind of, you don't know what you don't know. And you start getting into it and you think, oh, this is going to be a weekend. And 4 weeks later, you're still working on it.
Yep.
So
this is eerily similar to my very first flip that I did. It was the same 1900
Yeah.
house. And it was probably even before 1900. And this had horsehair and plaster and lath and chicken wire. And I had no idea what I was doing. I'm trying to peel off wallpaper. There's no AC. I'm sweating. Yeah. So I'm having a little bit of flashbacks
Right.
here, and now, okay. So the end result is, let's post-mortem this. You look back, and what did that lesson cost you in the grand scheme of things? So your time, your money, how much money was it?
probably about 30,000.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard money loans.
Oh, okay.
Had to call
Was
liquid.
that through Owen?
I had to, yeah. My first one was.
Ouch.
Yeah, I had to call and get extensions, obviously, because I bought it in April, and you know,
and then he hates on you for it.
you know.
Actually,
No.
I didn't even know this was
Probably.
happening. No, I'm kidding.
What I find with most hard money lenders, as long as you keep paying that monthly bill, you can run it as long as you want.
I'm just glad I'm paying off Owen this month.
But honestly, like, okay, let's talk about that for real quick. So you found a property, you wanted to buy it. Why at the time, like looking back, so this was 3 years ago, what made you decide to go the hard money route? Like, how hard was that to buy your first property where you're kind of like, God, how can I swing this? You hadn't done it before. Let's kind of roll back the clock and put yourself back in, this is my very first property shoes.
Yeah, so I didn't have the money to purchase it.
Yep.
I think we bought it for $95,000 to $100,000, something like that. So I borrowed the money to purchase it, and then I took a loan out of my 401k for the renovations.
Okay.
For like $40,000.
Mhm.
And so actually the purchase was easy. Getting approved for hard money wasn't a big deal. And the purchase of it was easy. And to this day, I'm on number 14 and I still use hard money to purchase and renovate. It's just easy.
It's a tool if you can learn how to work it.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, if you have a property that's not selling or that your renovations are taking longer, obviously, typically I figure about 4 months for renovations and sold.
Mhm.
And like right now, I've got a property in Blair. We've had it on the market since mid-October and
Ooh.
we're still trying to sell it.
Yeah.
And so, and
What's
that
the reason why you think it hasn't sold?
I don't know. It's a raised ranch. I've had a lot of people, a lot of older couples come look at it, and there's the laundry's in the basement. There's like 6 or 7 big stairs from the garage to the main level, to get into the house.
Okay,
I don't know.
Let me ask you: you're buying it new today. What are you going to do different on the remodel?
Probably the easiest thing to fix that I've had a few complaints about are the mechanicals.
Okay.
The furnace, air conditioner, water heater are older. They work fine. I didn't see a reason to replace them. Maybe I would today.
Okay, so you've been holding it for a few extra months now, which has
Mhm.
probably cost you probably the cost of these mechanicals now, right?
Pretty close. Not quite, but close.
So
Yeah.
and you think if that was,
Well, now you're looking at,
hindsight's
does it sell?
2020.
Yeah. Does it sell before spring?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Actually, this is such a good conversation though, because you're looking back to when your first flip and when what you had available, what you wanted to do with it, and how long it actually took, and the experience level you had at the time. So when I look at this, and yes, I own a hard money lending business, but taking that hat off and putting on my investor hat, if I found a deal and it was a good deal, and the only option I had was to buy it quickly, otherwise the deal wasn't going to be mine.
Right.
If you don't have your line of credit set up or other financing that's cheaper,
Yep.
A lot of times hard money is one of your only options to take down deals, especially if you get spread out. If you have 2-3 projects going on.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody has unlimited funds, right? So
Right.
you have to look at it as a line item, to your point, Ted. But things do go sideways,
Yep.
right? You have over budget. It happens all the time. You have stuff that takes longer to sell. We're in a transitioning kind of period right now where we went from
bad partners.
Yeah. There's all those things, right? So there's a time and a place for hard money. And if you look at it with the lens of this is a line item versus like, oh, the interest rate is so high. You have to be careful, right? You have to manage
Right.
your budget, and you did the right thing in figuring out a way. Now, would you, like, looking back on this, dipping into your 401k, do you cringe at that now, or are you kind of like, I'd do it again?
I would do it again. I did it on purpose. I mean, I meant to do it for the renovation money.
Yep.
Because I pay myself back with interest through my paycheck on my W-2. So my intent was, flip it, sell it, pay it back right away. Obviously, I lost $30,000 on it, so that didn't happen. But I would do it again. Yeah.
All right. So now that you were into that, you bought another one along the way, right? How did you get better? What was the progression from deal one to deal two, even though you were midway and it was only a month apart? It sounds like that one you made a profit on. Is that right?
We actually still own that one today as a rental.
Okay. So you ended up refinancing it.
Refinanced it, no problem. Bird it. And what we changed was we do less and we hire more. So we find, we have the contractors to come do it now. Tyler still does electrical as far as switching out the light fixtures, sockets, switches.
Does he give you a deal?
Yeah, he doesn't charge me anything. He gets, if we sell it, he gets something at the end.
Yeah.
And obviously, if we keep it as a rental, someday the goal is they're all his.
Yeah.
So he understands the long run. Now he also understands flipping boats was cash in his pocket every other week or whatever, but it's a longer game.
But flipping boats or flipping RVs, I mean, that honestly, if you guys are listening, it's like, hey, I want to do this. This honestly probably isn't the best time to do that. That's lucrative, really.
It was COVID.
When the economy is doing well. If the economy is not doing well, those types of assets are not being bought.
The best time to generally buy and flip houses and buy and burr is during a market upswing, right? In general, right? It gets tougher when we're in a declining market or one that's like kind of locked in, deadlock with sellers and buyers on a standoff and what places are actually worth, right? So it's much tougher to operate now in that type of environment. But you've done 14 now.
Correct.
Yeah. Or you're in the process of doing 14.
Yep.
I guess talk us through, kind of the remainder. Actually, let me ask one more question on your second deal. Did you go into that with the idea that you were going to keep it as a rental, or was that a result of a decision you made along the way?
Our initial goal was to buy those two and flip both of them to generate the money to buy a rental. So that was our plan, was 2 flips, buy a rental, 2 flips, buy a rental. Obviously, we had lost money on the first one. We didn't know that when we bought the second one because it was a month after.
Yep.
And so we were deep into both of them at the same time. And actually, I had that second one on the market, and it's on a 4-lane street in Blair. It's on Bell Street towards the south end of town. And the agent had it on the market for a couple months, and everybody complained that it was on a 4-lane street.
Too busy.
Yes.
Yep.
And there's a stoplight 2 houses down. So you could literally wait for the stoplight to turn red and back out and do whatever, and leave. So it wasn't that big a deal, I didn't think. So I ended up turning it into a midterm rental for nurses. Because again, it was still during COVID, and there's a hospital there in Fremont. And so I rented it for, I believe, 2 years to 4 or 5 different sets of nurse, and they were families. It was never just a single nurse or a couple nurses. It was always a husband and 1 or 2 kids. It was a 3-bed, 1 bath. So it worked out well for that. But yeah, I did that for 2 years.
Did you end up selling it?
I turned it into a full-time rental a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So right now the tenant just moved out because of my Blair property not selling. I'm getting it repainted, carpets cleaned, all that. And I'm putting it on the market and also listing it for rent.
Okay. So in regards to this Blair property, do you have a second exit plan, or is this the only option with this property?
I've looked into renting it, and I have my property manager. She's going to list it for rent. However, the refinance will be difficult, because the rent on it's probably about $2,000 a month, and I'm in it for about $270.
Yeah,
it won't cash flow.
No, but
if you sell the other property that you're talking about, you can put that money towards it, and it'll make sense.
Yes, exactly. And
I'll
have a nice property, because honestly, the ARV, when I bought it back in June, I had the ARV at 330.
Wow.
And then in October, I knew the market had softened, so we listed it for 320, and I'm down to 295 right now.
Yeah.
And considering dropping it even drastically more just to get rid of it, so I don't sit on it through the winter.
Now, here's an interesting stat. So, hard money lending business that I'm a co-owner of, we've done about since 2020 in September when we started to now, we've done roughly like right around 600 loans.
Mm-hmm.
And our average, so the average, not the median, but the average loan length is about 3.9 months.
Yeah.
And
that
that
right.
includes flips, that includes people that are going to burr.
Mm-hmm.
So buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. So we'll call it 4 months. That's about the average time from you get the keys to you give away the keys.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And that's, I think right now with the market we're in, that runway is going to get a little bit longer. So it may get more, may get closer to 5 months, say.
Yeah.
Do you think that's about right?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, definitely. Because like I said before, I've always kind of figured about 4 months.
Yep.
And I don't buy full gut, full demo, type properties. So that 4 months is my comfort zone. But with what this fall and this winter is showing, I would say, yeah, you're going to be pushing out 5, even 6.
Well, I remember listening to the Eccles talk. They were talking about how originally they were getting deals done in 60 to 90 days, but now they're planning 5 to 6 months into their budgets when they're making offers on proproperties. They do
because of the sale.
Yeah.
They're still getting them done in the 60 or 90 days, probably.
Well, I think they're holding them on market for months now. They do small town Iowa.
You mean
they're getting the renovations in the
totally,
same time, but they're foreseeing longer lead times.
Yeah. So the reason why we're talking about this is because when you go in and Ted and I over the years we've talked to a lot of investors, and the common knowledge out of all of this is go into it with a couple different exit strategies at least, if not.
Yep.
If not 3, and you did that, it sounds like you have flipping as one, holding it as a long-term rental is another, and then using as a short-term, midterm rental is another. Those are 3 common, exit or disposition strategies with a property. 3.9 months, like I mentioned, so we'll call it 4. If the market is taking longer for you to sell or disposition a property, go into that knowing that, right? So budget accordingly.
Right.
If you have to take out expensive money like hard money to acquire a property, budget longer when you're in a buyer's market. If you're in a seller's market, like we were from, way before 2020 up until probably 2021, maybe early 2022, it was much easier to get stuff done quicker. But here's the deal. If you're really honest about this and you look in your own portfolio and you say, this project took me 7 months to complete and it was a remodel, then you have to be honest with yourself and say, that's on me.
Right.
That's not on anyone else.
Right.
The average is going to be about 4 months to get all this done. And the data proves it out. Right. So if you're taking that much longer, you have to either look in the mirror and say, this is on me. I took way too long to manage this project. I didn't do what I should have done, or I'm hiring the wrong people, or something else is systemically wrong with your process, right?
Right. Yep.
So going through 14 of these now, or almost there, what lessons have you learned along the way? Like, what do you do now or don't do now that you did or didn't do in the beginning?
And just so you know, the average stats nationwide are about 5 to 6 months for an actual renovation, and about 75 days to close for the market to close,
according to
ChatGPT.
Okay.
See, and I haven't had a property that took more than 2 or 3 weeks to sell. I just haven't ran into that until this one. And so it's kind of a shell shock a little bit. I mean, I knew the market was going there, but so I have been looking at, I've had the same painter / demo crew, trim carpenter, cabinet guy on all 14 projects.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hired him off of Facebook on the first one, and we've worked together. I source out my own flooring people, some other things. So I have looked at this last one, the Blair House. I did bring in another company to do countertops, bathroom cabinets, flooring. They were okay, but they were supposed to be done with everything in like a week, and they weren't even done with the main flooring within 2 weeks.
Do you ever look at the resources that we provide at the RIA for all the discounts?
No, I'll shame myself. No,
I mean, you should, because there's some huge discounts in there.
Yeah.
And I literally go through and vet a lot of those contractors.
Yeah. I mean, I use the Foley's if I'm replacing cabinets or cabinet doors. I've refaced a lot of them, and I use under counter kitchen. Yeah. Yep. And then Florco, I use him for my wood floors.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep. But yeah, I need to find other sources, I think, especially so that first year we did 2 houses. Obviously, it took almost the whole year to do 2. Yep. The next year we did 5. The next year we did 5. This year we've only done 2. So the years where I'm doing 5, one contractor is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
So now in a couple, like last year, 24, 2 of those 5 were hotels. I bought them, turned around, sold them. So one was a minimal profit, and the other one, very nice house, 156th and Dodge area.
Great area.
Yeah. And 2-story house.
That's where I live.
I was working on a townhouse in Millard at the same time, and a friend of mine had told me about it, that I should contact the son of the people that own the house. So contacted him. They had put their parents into assisted living, and they had a foundation wall issue. It was pretty severe, but nothing that a check can't fix. So I ended up negotiating with them, buying it. During the buying process, his dad passed away. So we delayed it, which was no big deal to me. I didn't, need to close on it right away. But once we did close, I was still working on another project, and I didn't want to go into winter with this project and try to sell it, try to get done with it in December, January. I think it was like September, October when we actually finally purchased it. So I took a few pictures, put it on the Omaha RIA Facebook site, and my phone just blew up.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that was like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I decided to have an open house on Friday, had like 20 people come through, and around lunchtime. And by 4:00, I had a full price offer for what I was asking for it. And it was another investor, a realtor came to look at it for an investor. And by the time we turned around and sold it, I think I owned it in total, maybe 2 weeks, 3 at the top. And we made like 65,000 on that one.
And this was a wholesale?
Yes. I didn't even change the lock. I didn't change the light bulb. I did not.
The best of all worlds, wholetailing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but you have to be in the right market for it to work.
And it would have never happened if the person I knew didn't tell me about it, because she knew the family, and I will probably never run into that again.
My absolute favorite disposition for any type of property is a wholesale. But it has to be the right market conditions.
Well, and so I bought it directly from the family. Yep. You can't buy it through a wholesaler because, as I'm finding anymore, wholesalers are trying to get maximum.
Yeah, they get retail.
Money. They are.
Or they're trying to
India,
get
India, watch out for it on the legal side now.
Well, yeah, exactly. But a lot of them now are realtor wholesalers, and they're trying to make commission and everything else. And I can't make the numbers work on most wholesalers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy part is I had a call with Paul Vacheski, and he's telling me he's just about
who's Paul Vacheski, Ted?
Paul is you don't know.
No, people listen. We're on a podcast. In case you forgot, buddy.
He's been on the podcast.
Is somebody in Pennsylvania going to know who Paul Vacheski is?
He's on the real estate.
Somebody in Pennsylvania.
He's on the Nebraska Real Estate Commission board.
There you go.
And anyway, he has his own group in town.
Yep.
He's just laughing. I figure everybody's listening to every episode, so you just say, "Oh yeah, Paul."
Paul.
And anyway, he's telling me there's a group in Houston. Had 500,000 people in a group like our RIA group. Yeah, 500,000 members, and Facebook shut it down a couple weeks ago because people were posting illegal postings on it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, almost 90% of even the posts people make on our page that are realtors are illegal.
Oh.
So I'm getting closer and closer to be turning off any opportunity for people to post properties on the page now. And I got to talk with Colin Schwartz, another local investor who has a Facebook page, and he's about to do the same thing too. It's really interesting how that's all changing right now.
Well, yeah. Interesting.
And I don't want to lose my page.
Well, no.
I mean, I'm banned from it right now, so it doesn't matter, but
I have no skin in this game, so I could go on a tirade right now, but I'm just going to leave it for now about the ridiculousness of all this stupid shit around holding people that have a Facebook page accountable for
Right.
what other people are doing on there. Grow up, people. Like regulatory places, like, you know, find somebody else to like do this stuff out of. I have no skin in this game, so like I'm like, you guys suck. Whoever's listening to this, like, grow up.
When I took over the group, I was like, oh, hey, I reached out to every wholesaler. I'm like, post every wholesale on the page. Post them all. Like, I want to be known for that.
Right.
And I also want to see all the leads that were coming through, too, you
Well,
know,
yeah.
for my own stuff.
Yeah.
I bought some of them.
Yeah.
And I really, really miss it.
Well, it's no different. I had a property in Fremont. We've done several in Fremont, 4 or 5, but we listed it for sale, and my agent put in there new carpet, new flooring, new whatever, and just went on and on. I mean, as an agent should and do. And within a couple of weeks, I had a letter from Fremont, from their treasurer or somebody. They literally printed out the listing from my agent off the computer, attached it to this letter, and wanted to know every update and every dollar value I did to that house. I'm like, seriously, you're combing the MLS for renovated houses? I was just floored.
Well,
but I was selling it. I didn't care. They're going to jack up the taxes on the buyer.
You go to Sarpy County, which is the next county over next to Nebraska, and you do a flip. They're looking for dumpsters in the driveway so they can come in and make sure you got all your permits.
Yeah, we're in a gotcha culture right now. Speaking of gotchas, we have a section that we call
Failing Forward,
where we talk about something that didn't go according to plan. I know you've shared a few of your experiences along the way there, but if you had to like call out one thing in your experience in doing 14 different properties while you have a full-time job, by the way, I want to highlight that because that is a lot. Doing 5 a year while you have a W-2 and family and like, you know, life and all that. It's a lot to handle, especially when you're, you know, swinging a hammer and doing demo and managing contractors and all that. But like any of the things that you look back on in projects where it didn't go well, you talked about your first flip, but maybe give us an example of something that you learned along the way through not going how you had hoped.
So I bought a townhome in 2024. And it was actually a lead from my my realtor. The person had passed away. It was in Millard, nice townhome area. We dropped I think we spent like $80,000 in renovations on this townhouse. I mean, we gutted the bathrooms, and it was 1 bathroom, turned it into 2, blah, 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 put in all new granite countertops, took out a raised dining room floor, which was weird. I
get nervous with townhomes.
Every room, the carpet color matched the wall color. So dark blue, green. I don't even know the pink mauve color it was. But
if you ever go to Owen's house, that's how his house
Yeah. So anyway, got it all done, put it on the market, sold it within a week or 2. We went to close like December 10th. And the mortgage company for the buyer came back and said, well, your HOA lost their insurance back in November. And the HOA insured the exterior of the home or exterior of the building. So, you know, the exterior walls, the roofs, all that. And so they said, we can't close. And so the buyer said, well, that's a joke. I'm walking. See ya. So I had to wait from December I had to wait like 4 months for them to actually get insurance on 33 units of this HOA. So they finally got insurance. I got it re-cleaned, restaged, and that spring they were going to re-roof all of them from their prior insurance company that had dropped them. They did get a claim to re-roof them all. So I asked if, you know, they could possibly do mine first, because everybody knew I was trying to sell it. So they said yes. They got my roof and the attached one done like on a Thursday, Friday. We were supposed to close on the following Monday. Monday comes, no word. I'm like, did we close? You know, what happened? Apparently Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, whoever said, well, we need to make sure the HOA is in good standing. All 33 units need to be re-roofed before we approve the loan.
What?
Yes.
HOAs are such a pain in the butt.
Never, ever, ever again. So so that buyer held on, and we closed, I believe it was May 25th, when I should have closed on December 10th, all due to the HOA losing their insurance, which is something you should, I mean, property owners, anybody that has a mortgage, their lenders are throwing up red flags.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
and the homeowners have to pay HOA dues. So so where is that
they
money
still
going?
expected the dues.
Yeah, is there? And not to dig into this further, but like, is there a lawsuit possibility here? I mean, that
I strongly considered it.
yeah, cost you real money.
Yeah, I mean, I probably lost $30,000 on that just because of them.
Jeez.
We had a deal like that. Also, it was a condo. I had a client put under contract. I was doing this with my mom, and there was a very large retaining wall, all wood, and the HOA company is like, "Oh yeah, that's covered, and we're going to take care of that." And it was in an email. Well, come to find out, it wasn't covered, and so when they closed, we're like, "Hey, so what's the backup here?" And then the HOA came back like, "Oh no, that's not covered at all. That's not part of this. That's on you because a condo backs up to that massive retaining wall that's 40 feet high.
There's no way."
And so that's on you. And they're like, "No, I have it here in writing. Like they're writing, go against our E&O insurance." Errors and omission, if you don't know what that is, for falsely giving our client information, and then we had to end up in this months long battle. In the end, though, HOA's like, we're not covering it, but we had documentation saying they're doing it. And they're like, well, that person misspoke. And then we pulled original documentation from the HOA that we had. Like, oh no, this is the updated HOA. You didn't have the updated one. I'm like, well, this is what you guys sent us.
Yeah,
like total back.
You can't. Yeah,
from a very well named company here in town.
Wow.
Dude,
you can't even trust what you get on that stuff.
And the problem with the HOAs, at least, and I hate to point this one out, but most of the people on the HOA board are 70 and 80 years old, and they used to do this, and they used to be this person, or they used to do this profession. And
I was a realtor back in 1985.
Or
I
a
know what I'm talking
builder,
about.
or whatever. It's a shit show.
The real estate company I work for, they manage about 70 HOAs, I believe.
Oh, right.
And that's their bread and butter.
Okay.
And they handle all that, but they said it is a pain in the butt. They said the phone calls you get from some elderly.
God. Oh yeah, I can only imagine.
This person's trash has been out all day and they haven't put the can back.
No thanks.
And then
I'm sorry, they died.
I saw one person like, "What's your neighbor?" I think the response was, "It's your neighbor. Do the neighborly thing. Just pull it back up to there instead of calling me. You spent more time calling me than you could have pulled it up for them."
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Some people just need to complain.
I might have found my book.
All right, perfect. Well, this ties nicely into our next section, which we call the OT with Owen and Ted. And the first question, since it's hot off the press for you, if you're going to write a book, what do you think the title or topic would be?
The do's and don'ts of buying in an HOA.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't remember when we bought that. I think we bought it in August. So I owned that from August till the end of May. And at first I didn't go to the meetings, but towards the end I did, obviously, because I was more vested in getting it sold. But yeah, I think the do's and don'ts of buying an HOA.
Yeah.
I even considered keeping it and selling my house and moving in there because it backed to the pool. But after the dealings with the HOA board, oh no thanks.
No, terrible. Oh my God. I can't imagine.
Okay, so it is your podcast. You can interview anyone in the world today. It's live. It doesn't have to be real estate related.
Okay.
Who's the person you're going to interview? And if you can ask one question to get answered, what is it?
I had to think about this one. Honestly, I'm a huge fan. I think I would want to interview George Strait.
Oh,
country music singer. Yeah. I actually looked it up last night because I wasn't sure on the details, but his career is like 47 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's been married for 50 years or close to that.
And most celebrities will say I've been married 50 times. Not 50
well,
years.
yeah, exactly. I mean, first of all, how do you stay relevant for 46, 47 years in the music industry? Because most people are here for 2 years and gone.
Yep.
I believe he has 2 kids, obviously wife, and, the family life of him being on the road and that. So just kind of how he did it all, big fan. So yeah, that'd be cool.
No, that's cool. Okay. So sad times. Woodward household is grieving. You're in the ground now, but we're at your funeral. Who do you think would speak at your eulogy, and what kind of legacy do you hope to leave?
I would hope that it would be one of my kids. So I have my son, Tyler, who we've talked about a lot. And then I have a daughter, as well, but I don't know that either one of them would actually get up there. So I have a good friend that I've known since junior high. If I've done it, he knows about it or was involved in it.
Is that a good thing?
Well,
Mutually assured destruction.
I think the stories might be worth, telling. Some of the stories. Most of them are out there. Nothing was too crazy, but I think he would, besides my kids, I think he would, just a genuine person is what I would hope that he would say. And as far as my kids, that I was there for, everything that I could be.
Yeah.
So
just treat it like a stand-up comedy show.
Yeah. Well, some of them, we may serve bourbon. So
if you think about the person that's had the biggest impact on your life from start to now, who is that person? And if you could speak to them directly and say thank you for whatever they did, what would you say?
Besides Jerry, which, I gave props to for the last 4 years of my investing, I've had two bosses in my career, one for 12 years and now one for, 9 or 10 years. Probably be my most recent boss. And he was the one that originally hired me at ABC. I had a lot of experience in the industry, but little to no sales experience. And he saw that, my industry experience would take me further than any sales experience.
Yeah.
So I just thank him for giving me a shot at that. And obviously outside sales, if you've never done it, it's an entrepreneurial deal. I mean,
Eat what you kill.
Yeah, exactly. You can sit at home and not make anything, or you can go out and bust your ass and, beat the streets and pretty much make your own living. So
one-off question for you here. Wait, actually, let me fact check this. Is your boss going to listen to this?
No.
Okay. Do you have any aspirations to leave your job to do real estate full time, or do you see this as a way to make extra money and build wealth?
So I had left for 2 years from ABC, and I was ready to come back because I started being on the road all the time. And I had called him just asking him to keep his ears and eyes open for anything. And it didn't have to be with ABC, but within the industry. Month or so later, he called me and one of his sales guys was leaving. So he offered me the position. And so we made a gentleman's agreement that I would at least stick around for 5 years.
Okay.
I think May or June of this coming year is 5 years.
Oh, all
so
right.
I keep throwing that out there, dangling the carrot.
What am I worth?
Yeah. Well, and the problem is when you're in sales, it doesn't matter what you're worth.
Yeah.
You're worth what you go sell.
Yep.
So, but I'm not looking to get out immediately. It's not like I hate my job. I love what I do. So if it's just extra money on the side, that's great. However, I do have aspirations for a beach house, whether that be in Florida or Belize or Costa Rica, somewhere I can go for
Lake
6
Manawa?
months. No.
Oh,
You have to shave off that beard. You're going to have some crazy tan lines.
This is just for my part-time job at the mall this winter. So,
the season.
Shingles don't sell in the wintertime. So I got to go do something else to pay the bills.
That's awesome.
Is it cheaper to put a roof on right now?
No, but good luck for it staying on when
Right.
the winds kick up. So,
Yeah.
so to answer your question, not right away,
Yep.
but my wife's actually retiring in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So she's
Okay.
been a teacher for 31 years and
that's
she's
a lot.
Yeah.
That's like 200 years.
Grade
Teacher
school, special ed. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, for 31 years.
What
That's
district?
like a century.
OPS.
OPS. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's got till the 19th.
This is my
Yeah.
this is
of
my wife's
December.
18th year.
Yeah. So,
And I think she can retire at 25 or 28 years. I don't remember how many years she's got.
well,
it-
Nebraska, it's the rule of 55. So your age and your years.
Okay. So she started, she was 21.
Okay. So
Math.
she's got a little while.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Well, shout out to all the teachers out there, especially those that serve the special education community. That's a tough job.
Yep.
Okay, last question for you, Jason. We'll get you out of here. What are you looking for in your business or life right now, if anything? And what's the best way for people to reach out to you or follow you?
Right now I'm looking for continuing to look for flips. Obviously I like, and I hate to use, cause I know you guys don't like it, the buy box, but
I love the
it's
buy
just-
box.
yeah, right,
It's just
right.
me.
Okay. Then I'll throw it out just for Owen. I want that house that, your parents or grandparents have lived in for 40, 50, 60 years. It's got the shag carpet, maybe a little wallpaper, foil wallpaper on the walls, but everything else is the bones are great.
Yeah.
You know,
Well maintained, cosmetically distressed.
exactly. You know, I'll throw a roof on it, throw siding on it, you know, redo the kitchen, bathrooms, whatever, but I just don't want tear down. So anything like that, you know, your parents, grandparents have been into. So I've also, between Tyler and I, obviously he's an electrician. So we've kind of started kicking around. Well, we were out snow blowing our vacant properties this last weekend. That was fun. Since one was in Fremont, one was in Blair, and one's in Millard. So nowhere close to each other.
No.
And if you don't do that, then you'll start getting investors calling you wanting to buy them if you don't plow them.
Well, I'd like an investor to call me on the Blair one. So, but I think, you know, we may be looking at some type of business in the future, whether it's an electrical company or years ago, I worked for a glass company. I ran into a glass guy that was replacing some windows in one of my flips, and he told me then, which was probably a year and a half ago, that he had about 2 years left, you know, private owner of it, small glass company, you know, something like that I could really jump into and build, and then kind of step away and, you know, put a manager in place and, you know, go lay on the beach and check my spreadsheets.
There's one point in my life I actually talked to a business broker that showed me some you know, franchises I could buy into.
Yeah, I look at those online and I'm just like, I'm not into a franchise. You know, a mom and pop shop is what I'm looking for.
The franchise he showed me really interesting though, and and the models are interesting. And
what I was kind of surprised. The lady that sponsored the drinks the other night, her staging company is a franchise. I had no clue.
And she got it. I believe she got that through this guy I'm talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she said they went through like a whole application process, and then they laid out like 10 different options.
Yeah. It's
you know, a gym or, you know, whatever, based on their answers.
It's less than that. They give you like 3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Mine was I got a painting company.
Yeah.
I got a landscaping company.
Okay.
And I got a mobile key company as my options.
Okay. See, to me though, a painting company. Do you really need a franchise to go buy brushes and ladders?
This particular company they have their own patent on their product, and it based on the weather that's going to be on that day. The paint is very specific, so it sticks to the property. They put a warranty on it. But the cool thing that they offered that nobody else offered was they offered a paint that was a granulant that got sprayed onto roofs to regranulate the roofs.
I remember you talking about that.
I've seen that.
And in Canada, it was actually the insurance companies were allowing it, and it actually made, when you sprayed it, it made the roof hail resistant if it was a hail resistant roof. So it'd regranulate, and you can change the color of it for your flips.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna change
for a lot cheaper.
I'm gonna go from brown to gray.
Shingles.
I can respray it. It had like a 20-30 year warranty. That was the thing that interested me more than the painting. And the landscaping company was all about using subcontractors, not having any staff. It was just literally having management on staff.
I mean, do you really need a franchise fee and royalties?
And actually, there was one other company because he gave me 4, and the other one was a remodeling company that was doing basic remodels. But you scanned it. They had all the designers on staff.
Okay.
They would design it for you, create the 3D models. You provide it to your clients.
Sure.
And then they drop ship everything you need right to the door.
Huh. Well, that's kind of interesting.
So,
but,
yeah. That's kind of fun.
All right.
But Jason, thank you so much for coming out. Thanks for your time. It was great to hear your story. There was a lot that we didn't know about you that we need. I didn't know the involvement of your son in your business, which is pretty cool.
Sure.
And I'm excited to see how you guys progress and what you guys do next. And I'm really excited to see how many more years you're going to be in the supply company business too.
The beach is calling.
Right. Yes, it is.
Especially since your wife's retiring. You're going to feel a lot more lazier.
So my son and I made an agreement when we started this that I would make it to the beach before he did. So, because he's got aspirations of retiring by 40.
My biggest struggle for work is in the summers because my wife is home and my kids are home all the time. And I'm like, I'm not going to the gym at 4 a.m. I'm going at 8 or 9 o'clock now because I sleep in because I don't take anybody or everybody's still sleeping. I struggle heavily with that. So, but thank you. It was fun hearing your story. But with that, Owen Dashner, will you see us out?
On behalf of Rhea Radio, Aiden Bear, and Ted Cash, Big Ted. You've been listening to, I'm Owen Dashner, and you've been listening to Jason I Heart HOAs Woodward, and also brought Woodford, which we appreciate.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Sign off.